McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, go to SelectQuote.com. SelectQuote.com. That's SelectQuote.com.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy David with Black Wealth Renaissance, and I'm here today to tell you guys about Anchor. If you haven't heard of Anchor, it's the best place to make a podcast. Anchor is a free app that has creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast straight from your phone. Anchor also distributes your podcast across all major platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many others. You can also make money on your podcast with Anchor with no minimum listenership. Anchor is everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So if you're looking to get started on your own podcast, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm.
There's no purpose in teaching anybody who don't really want to learn, who really don't want to get to it. Everybody want to play entrepreneur. They don't want the sacrifice that come with the shit.
Late nights, early mornings.
You're going to lose friends, lose girlfriends, family going to call you crazy, not going to believe in you, then you make it, and then everybody going to be like, I'm proud of you, let me get some money.
What I've realized that wealthy people understand, and people in general, it's the small concepts that you can apply to get wealthy. You don't gotta be super smart and gotta know all the intricacies of real estate or taxes or e-commerce or whatever, trucking, whatever it is.
It's good if you want to be rich in that business, but you don't need to know that.
You don't need to know everything. You just need to know small, basic concepts. And one of the smallest basic concepts that anybody can understand is get money, buy income. Get money, buy more money.
I woke up feeling wealthy today. My bank account might not agree, but hey, that shit on the way. Me and my niggas laying brick on top of brick till we straight. If you the type that play the victim, you can't come in my space. You know this game ain't for the weak, it's hard to carry this weight. I keep my balance through the ups and downs, I'm never gonna break. You feel the purpose in my spirit when you look in my face. Cause this ain't a second, I can waste some good food on plate.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Your boy David BWR, 1/4 of the Black Wealth Renaissance. Check it out with my co-host Jalen. How you feeling, my brother?
What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Jalen, man. Another quarter of the Black Wealth Renaissance Podcast. Checking in. We live today, in studio. We got some great guests we about to get in with. But before we get into that, we please want to ask y'all to please rate, comment, subscribe, review, share with your family and friends. If you love this podcast, if you want to support us, tune into our Patreon. You can subscribe for as little as $5 a month, or you can just support us strictly through Anchor if you just want to make a one-time donation.
Yes, sir. And like my brother just mentioned, we got a great episode planned for y'all today. If you're watching this, you can see we got some in-person guests, and it is great energy going on right now. So right now we have none other than Mr. Jerod Couch, Miss Yvonne Williams, and Mr. Byron Hardy, creators of the independent, Emmy-nominated series Washed. They built this thing from the ground up here in Dallas and took it, and now they streaming on Amazon, winning Emmys and stuff. They actually killing the game, bro. And we more than glad to have y'all on. Welcome everybody to Wash Crew.
Thank you for having us. He said Emmy winning. He putting that.
Hey, man, millennials love manifesting. Right?
Nah, big facts. And I watched the video. You said it. You was like, yo, this is going to be a TV show. You was like, I got to speak it into existence. So,
absolutely.
Hey, we all with it. That's like what we talking about. It ain't nothing limiting. We're going to make sure that we make it happen. So,
I remember saying, I said that a long time ago. I was like, early on in season 1, I was like, hey, man, y'all stop calling us web series. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's stop calling ourselves web series. Let's start calling ourselves a TV show because that's what we are going to be, right? And I believe in that.
Hey, man.
And then we did it.
Exactly.
You know, so last summer we did a photo shoot and bro had us all pose because he's got 2 Emmys, right? He ain't gonna say that. So he already had the trophies on hand. So we did our photo shoot. It was like, hey, everybody, do a couple poses with the Emmy trophy, you know, just in case we need them.
Hey, that's hard though, and that's powerful though. Like, because a lot of times we don't understand what making it tangible and making it physical actually does though. That's why writing your goals down is so powerful, because now you put it on that piece of paper and like you're really saying, you know, this is something that I'm gonna make happen. So y'all just touching the Emmy, like y'all put it in your body, y'all put it in the universe, and God was just like, that's it, like we're gonna make it happen.
I think a lot of times in life you can't see it. You can't be it unless you can see it, right? And this wasn't anything I was like proactively doing, but when I won, it was a regional Emmy, but when I won it, as soon as I left the stage, I wanted to win another one, right? So I hope when we did that at the photo shoot, and we brought the Emmys and people took pictures with them, that, you know, it takes kind of the, you know, it breaks down a barrier because, you know, it's like this big thing or this shiny gold trophy that if you can actually touch it, it's like it's attainable, right? If I can do it, we can all do it, right? And kind of being nominated now for a daytime Emmy and hopefully winning it, and Yvonne will have that shiny trophy in her house, then that right there is kind of be a testament to a lot of folks.
Eventually it will make its way to your house, but just know if you win, we dancing and joining around like the Stanley Cup.
Like the sisterhood of the traveling pants.
You get it this week, you get it that week.
I've already read the rules. The Creative Couch as a production agency can order a commemorative one for the crib, so
he's like, look, I ain't even tripping. I'll let y'all fight over it.
So Jerod, Yvonne, Hardy, I want to welcome y'all to the show. Thank y'all so much for coming out here today, pulling up on us here at the studio. So for all our audience members that's unfamiliar with you guys, could we get an introduction to each of y'all just so that they know how y'all started and how y'all ended up coming together with this?
Yeah, so my name is Jerod Couch. I am from Dallas, Texas. I graduated from the illustrious Wilmer Hutchins High School before it was shut down, and it was rejuvenated on DISD. I went to film school at the University of Texas. Worked for ESPN for 5 years. Worked for the Rangers for 3, and now I'm doing my own thing under the Creative Couch. And I know this guy Hardy for about 20 years. I know Yvonne since the beginning of Washed.
All right. Hey everybody, I am Yvonne Williams. I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas, but have been in Dallas for, maybe 11, it's 11 years now.
You got here as quick as you could.
Yeah, you're right. But, so I am a set design and actress on Washed. I kind of stumbled into Washed and was very, very grateful that this man right here has trusted my abilities to come and make some magic, and look what we did.
Yes, indeed. Byron Hardy. I am an actor, producer, writer, audio mixer of Washed. Like Couch said, we've known each other forever at this point, like half a lifetime.
That's wild.
And I got involved with the project. You know, I too stumbled into it. Actually, drunkenly stumbled into it. I did my audition, so to speak. It was supposed to be like a screen test or whatever. Like it was the day before the auditions. I'm at his house drinking, chilling. It's like, yeah, go take these sides. Come read. For a character named Eric, and we had kind of been talking about the show, you know, direction it was possibly going to go in, and he's like, you know, this character's got a lot of similarities here. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And but now I read, and then a week later he gave me the call. It's like, yeah, man, you ain't gonna believe it, but you got the role. It's like, but y'all had real actors. Like, I'm a musician, a retired musician. Like, I don't act, so I have to learn to act in order to do this. And then along with that, just like the responsibilities of being such a small production. You know, you kind of unlock achievements or unlock new roles as you go along, and as things get bigger and bigger, there's more to do, and that's kind of how I ended up on the writing team, because I was a writing consultant. So I ended up as a producer because I just wanted to be a PA. I was just like, I'm gonna help whatever way I could to help get it done. So every day that I wasn't on set to act, I was there in a production capacity, and even on the days that I was acting, I was still kind of like doing some management stuff kind of off to the side. It was a challenge, but I think I made it through it okay. So
season 1, although we had a mixture of first time actors, because in season 1 it's like, you got to post, cool, we need you, right? Come on. And a lot of the fans, a lot of people that viewed the show, they loved his character and they loved the Carmen character, who was the work wife. So in season 2, he became the lead character. Right, he went from supporting to lead because his character was dynamic. I think they liked his personality on camera.
Lead.
What's that? So season 2 was more of an ensemble, right? Like, so we had, instead of one story, we had 4 stories, right? So, but that's a testament to his hard work and every phase where, in every single aspect that he undertook, it elevated. Same thing with Yvonne, right? Like, talk about below a micro budget. She took that and nominated for an Emmy for set design on. I won't even tell y'all the budget because y'all be like, really?
But yeah, we want to get into it, though, like, for sure with y'all. So
you have to tell them.
Let's go to the very beginning with it. Like, whenever you talked about season 1, what was it like actually starting this? Because
really, how did even the idea pop up? Like, what created this storyline, and like really just how it all meshed together so well?
So, for real,
you got to tell the whole thing.
Nah, I'm not telling the whole thing. I'm gonna tell you the kind of the inspiration behind it. So I was working for the Rangers, and I was getting my MBA part time. I left the Rangers, a job I loved creating, when got me an MBA job. Right, was making a lot of money. That lasted 1 year. And so I found myself going from a high rise in downtown Dallas to the unemployment line. Right? And I knew I wanted to create. And so this idea sparked, because it was also kind of, the initial idea was kind of balancing this new lifestyle, right? Because I grew up in, in and around a lot of hoods in Dallas, right? And now I'm living this life where it's like brunch on Sunday, like this kind of washed lifestyle, feeling washed up. So trying to balance those identities. But then at the same time, I was approaching 30, and I felt accomplished, but I was unemployed. I was driving for Lyft, and nothing wrong with driving for Lyft, but at that time I had 2 degrees, 2 Emmys, and I was like, damn, I'm having kind of a quarter life crisis, which ironically was the initial name of the show, but it was too long. And so we settled on Wash. So that was kind of the
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles in the overworld. Now for a limited time, you can get one of 6 McDonald's collectibles when you order a Minecraft movie meal. Ooh. With your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce. Available now in a biome near you. Oh, and at your local McDonald's. I participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.
The genesis of the idea.
So you're not gonna tell the Trap House story?
Well, then go bring it up.
all right. There was this, so we a friend of mine was like, "Hey, want to roll to the hood real quick before we go out in Deep Ellum?" I was like, "Cool." So I found myself in a trap house, and I looked around, and I knew everybody in there. We played football together, and it was kind of an out-of-body experience, right? Because like used to, when I was 18, that wouldn't have been like, I still wouldn't have felt comfortable because I ain't no D-boy, I ain't no thug, but I was 30, and I was like, man, I got a lot to lose. I got a mortgage, I got a wife. I was like, we need to get out of here. Like I'm seeing drugs, I'm seeing guns, right? Like and I was like, so that was kind of another layer to it as well. It's kind of like, damn, I'm a different person, right? Like I do not need to be in this environment, right? I ain't no punk, but I don't need to be in this environment. And so that was kind of a genesis as well. And that's kind of like his character was like, he's a drug dealer, he's very intellectual, and kind of like delving into that aspect of it, Wow. I told you I wasn't telling that story no more, man.
I mean, we're amongst friends.
Right.
We're amongst friends.
But that's real dope. And so what was it like actually taking from the idea, from the creative just juices, but actually making it come to life? Because a lot of times we'll have ideas, we'll be like, oh, this would be amazing to do. Your back's against the wall, you driving Lyft, like, How do you turn and flip that into something that y'all have created now?
Being fearless, and thanks to my wife for like having my back all the way through. She believed in the vision. I had took her to a couple of regional Emmy shows, so she kind of knew that I kind of knew what I was doing. But like the financial, so I was already creating my own agency, so I was investing in a lot of gear, right? So just buying a lot of gear, going into debt, like I was legit. And I had this one credit card that had like a $20,000 limit, and I was close, right? And so I was pushing it. And really, it was just scrapping, man. Like, I'm a fearless type person. And then just kind of getting people in the community like Hardy, Yvonne, people just to rally around you. And I think folks will rally around you if you have a vision and a plan. And so I think just a combination of that fearlessness, folks rallying around, my wife supporting me, and just making it happen. And then it's funny, we put a ball in motion and it starts picking up steam, and stuff started happening for us that we never thought would happen.
And that's a powerful point you mentioned in there about how you were investing in this equipment before and building out your own agency before, just because that was an investment in yourself that you was making at that time. So did you build your agency out during the same time?
Yeah, so the whole thing was Mondays 9 to 5. I'm working on the show, but I'm also working on getting clients, right? And I'm working on doing commercials, doing weddings, any type of video work I could do, I'm building that. So I'm kind of juggling both, projects and or both kind of companies, because Wash is a company, the Creative Couch is a company. So I was doing both at the same time, and a lot of times any jobs that I got would fund Washed, right? And also anybody from Wash that could help on my projects, I would bring them along. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I could, So yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely like a community building thing. Like, we love season 2 so much because of how much it grew, but it wouldn't have been what it was without season 1. Season 1's just like, 8 episode. How many episodes season 1?
It's 8.
8 episode proof of concept, really.
Yeah.
But it's not. It wasn't a proof of concept for necessarily the industry at large. It was proof of concept around the city. So it was like that bait we put out in the water would attract all of the talent that made season 2 even be as good. It's like everybody saw it and they saw the potential because we were learning things as we go along. Like throughout. Even, throughout the season 1 process, definitely throughout season 2. But we were learning as we go along. And we knew, Couch did a lot. Season 1, he shot it, lit it, edited it. Production design was like, whatever's there, we're going to make it work. But, just that guerrilla aspect of going from what we did in season 1, attracting, Jamario or, Sean Lyons or Yvonne to step up and do set design.
The whole writing team.
Like, we went from 3 writers to 6.
Yeah, 6, and we had a consulting room.
And we had 4 consultants.
And to add a point to kind of what Hardy's saying, and I don't know if people are looking for advice in this podcast, but if you build something and it's not going to get you to great, don't be afraid to tear it down. And that's what we did. Like season 1, we were good, but I looked around and I was
a web series.
I was doing too much, and folks weren't specialized in their role, and I had to be cutthroat with a few people in that I had meetings with them. I was like, all right, we're going to restructure the whole production team. So I met with folks. And I was like, all right, what do you want to do? And they was like, oh, I like doing everything. All right, you do nothing. Bye. Right? It's like if you want to be a jack of all trades, you can't be great. Right. So what I needed in season 2 was to pick something and kind of go with it. So I knew we were good, but it wasn't going to get us a great. So we had to restructure the whole thing. And hence you bring in Yvonne for set design. She focused on that. Now we did have people double up because we just didn't have.
You still on a micro?
Yeah, you still on a micro budget. Right. But instead of
like this is still being done for free.
Yeah. So but you kind of branch out and you start filling roles. And you start getting specialized. Like Vaughn, you do set design. Now she also did props, which usually you would break those apart. But
one person would just be focusing on props, and one person on the design instead.
So, but still, compared to season 1, we didn't have that person to focus to go through the script and say, we need this, we need this, we need this. This is how I picture this, and have a whole process. So. Yeah,
which is a thing that you also have to realize with locations. We were like using Airbnbs and stuff, so a lot of these things we were showing up sight unseen, and Yvonne had to figure it out. Jamario Washington, who's our director of photography, they had to figure it out. Like how we gonna light it, how we gonna shoot it, you know, how's she gonna decorate this space to make it fit whatever's going on, or whoever this space belongs to. You got to figure that out at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Like they didn't get the week ahead. Like, yeah, you might have had some pictures or whatever, but you can't really get a sense of the space. Yeah. So we in there at 6 a.m. Like, what is we gonna do?
So how long you got the space while you trying to figure it out for the 6 a.m? Is that just for the day? You got it.
Some places we just in there for the day. So we got there 5, 6 in the morning. Like, as long as they would let us in there, we were there. But you got to realize, like, you got scenes. You know, scenes got cut, scenes got moved, locations got stretched. That was more money. But, you know, doing things better, it took a lot more time because we didn't have more money.
Yeah. And so I have a question. So, like, y'all mentioned that y'all have everybody, they kind of doing this for free, right? Y'all build this community around this. So for somebody who's out there, they got an idea, they got a camera, they may have some equipment. How do they like first go out about this? Do they just put out casting calls? Do they just like send this to some of their friends
on
like,
Instagram, Twitter, like
both? If you're just starting off, you have to lean on your friends a lot. You can do a casting call, and if you do a casting call or if you go that route of recruiting people, you damn well better have a vision, you better have a plan, you better have your act together, because people aren't going to follow you. Because there's a lot of folks out here that start stuff and don't finish it, right? And I feel bad for actors when they go and, because a lot of actors, and the reason I'm saying this, not because I'm down on anybody, because I don't know this. I'm on my productions, but I got a text message the other day. It's like, thank you for following through. Right, because a lot of times I do projects and they don't ever do anything. So I would say follow through. But yeah, friends, you can do a casting call. You can reach out to other up and coming, like, you know, student filmmakers or kind of just first time filmmakers.
And I kind of want to talk about the learning process, because you spoke on it. You won the Sports Emmy through, you were shooting, correct?
No,
so I was a producer writing.
Yeah, so when you work at ESPN, if you're a producer, you produce and you write. That's it, right? Okay. That's it. With doing this, you do a little bit more. When I was with the Rangers, I was a creative director.
So you were kind of already in that role and kind of already had it. What about you, Yvonne?
As far as
like with the set design and everything, did you have to go through a learning curve to get over it? Because I know Byron, he said he's coming from music, which is it's kind of similar because it's in the creative arts, right. But at the same time, music and coming to film and design and stuff, that's two different things. Yeah. You got a specialized ear where you can hear things off and everything like that, but coming to this side is totally different. Was it the same thing for you?
Well, it's funny you said he had a specialized ear. I had a specialized eye for design. And even when I say I stumbled into WASH, in season 1, I just came on as an extra. And sat there, and I kind of took a risk, because you shouldn't on a higher, level set. If you say anything to a director, you would be asked to leave. I don't need your opinion, get out. But graciously, if I would see something, I would say, "Oh, shouldn't we do that?" And he'd be like, "I like that. Go ahead." But I think that kind of helped him kind of understand, like, oh, okay, well, she has a good eye for something, as well as I think Nadira kind of spoke with you, and again with having friends in great places, and she knows I love design. I've worked with wardrobe before with films, but as far as set design, I haven't. I knew it wasn't far off from what I can do. I love design. If you go to my apartment, a lot of the stuff that you see in Washed is from my apartment.
It is what it is.
But I have these visions. I'm a big Pinterest person. I don't know if you know what Pinterest is, but I have so many different boards. And when I think Hardy said earlier, when we come on set and we don't have much time, you have to have a plan. So it's not like we showed up and said, well, what are we going to do? No, I already had a plan. It's just putting that plan, making it fit that space that we had. And that's how we put it together. But as far as the learning curve, I think the biggest learning curve was actually having to deal with, these different scenarios, different locations that we had. If it was 110 degrees and you still had to
had to make sure everybody would
everybody like damn.
No, remember I told you about the PTSD earlier?
Yeah, my bad. But yeah, it happens. Like we went through a lot. We put in a lot of work, and it wasn't. I'd be selfish to say it was just me. I had, everybody helped in where they could. When I was, passed out or throwing up, then people stepped up to the plate. This actually did happen.
She was legit throwing up on set, and I was like, yo. You should go home. Like, I don't even say she should go home. I was just in shock. And I think I told Nadir something. I was like, Yvonne should go home. And next thing she's back up and at it. And,
back
working, putting set design pieces. Actually, one of our best sets, ironically, like you was struggling.
Game 6.
Yeah. That was her flu set.
Damn, it's a flu set. I like that.
For one of these
I think we all had a day where we just kind of died on set.
But we have a great team that people, filled in where we needed.
Yeah, you just keep going.
So for one of these productions, like y'all say y'all pull up at the Airbnb at 6 a.m., like how many people does it take to put together one of these shows? And like what are some of the roles that goes into this?
Not very many people.
We grew.
BWR hosts, we love you.
Yeah, we grew from 30 to about 150 people in season 2. Now, all those
Airbnb.
No. The only place all at one time was probably my house.
Yeah. No. And when you grow that big, you turn less into a director and more of HR. But so if we had a small Airbnb, we'd be like, listen,
cut it down.
Bare minimum, right? So you come in waves. Like, all right, Vaughn, you get in there, do your thing. If you got to go, because once the set's, we can handle it from there. Makeup, all right, once you do your thing, get out. Not get out, but, kind of move to the side. Lighting, once you do your thing, get in there, get out, right? So, like, we had those pictures on Airbnb are deceiving. So we pulled up into an apartment, and if y'all see, it's Carmen's apartment. We made it look bigger than what it is, but it is tiny.
This living room was about the size of this room.
Yeah,
right? It was tiny. It had a great view, though. And so once you run into a situation like that, everybody in the bedroom.
That was the second day of filming, wasn't it?
Is that when it was hot as hell?
No. No. So anyway, so you do very minimum. Like if it's a small space, you got your camera. You got even the director might be in the hallway, right, looking on a monitor. So you just kind of just get as small as you can. The hot one was
hot box.
It's a hot box. So when you watch, you'll see a thrift store. It was built in the 20s. It no longer exists. It was bulldozed, and we had to shoot during the summer. And it had great insulation and no AC. So we were shooting in the hot box.
Triple digit summer, okay. Triple digit summer.
Yes. And it was hotter in there than it was outside because it just held in heat so well.
Great.
And it was literally like you could look down and it may be 115 degrees in that room. And there's no AC. And if there was, we can't run it during takes anyway because of the audio. So it's like we're getting patted down. Like makeup gave up on that set. Like she was just like, man, nah, y'all good. Like we're gonna pat you down.
Exactly.
We're gonna dab the sweat off of you in between takes, and we're gonna keep on
powder?
Right. Like, cause it's just that's just what we have to do. Now the aesthetic of it ended up being dope because it gave her a lot to play with. They called it a thrift store. It was really just kind of a hoarding station is what it seemed like. It was just some of everything in this joint. And so, like, you need a desk, you look in a corner, here's a desk.
We only really had to worry about lighting.
Yeah.
I had to buy lamps and stuff to light it, but...
And the wacky old
electricity.
So the breaker kept flipping, all that stuff. But that's a testament, and that's kind of a trick you use. You use Airbnbs because they're already dressed, and this thrift store had a lot of props, a lot of set design. Where normally, if we try to do that ourselves, that's thousands and thousands of dollars to get that old school look. So.
Yeah, so I want to go into your learning curve. So you coming from music, now. You're an actor. You're an actor, but you're also producing. Yeah, first time actor. Now you're playing the role of producer as well. So, like, how do you juggle all this and start learning this stuff? What you watching a lot of YouTube? What you doing?
I mean, it's amazing what you can learn on YouTube. But
University undefeated.
So season 1, I kind of came along slowly. I kind of had some other stuff going on at work, and I was back in school and stuff like that. So he eased off me. He just let me act.
That's why you were kind of in a supporting role.
Well, I mean, it's just that it was written that way anyway. We were a single character lead, and everyone was, the whole world was built around that character. And so we got into the process of season 2. I was like, all right, school out. I'm straight at work. Like, what you need?
A lot.
Yeah, I mean, because I'd be on the phone with him like throughout the post process and all of this like this. It's like, dang, I wish I had more time and space to help. And so season 2 came around and they're writing, and I joined the writing team because I was just going to consult, right? And then we got through I think they got like the first 7 episodes written or whatever, or however many, because we wrote 13. So, but the majority of the season was done, and I was working on the consulting team, giving notes, giving ideas and things like that. And then it's like, and it got stuck. Writers' room got stuck. It's like, all right, I tagged in, and that's how I ended up writing. I knew these characters because I had kind of made myself the unofficial continuity person in writing. I was like, no, we can't do that because this character said this in season 1, or you can't have this situation because it goes against whatever, it contradicts whatever. I'm just like a really detail-oriented person just in general. And so acting, going back to that, I worked my way into it. I understood it. And the thing I learned about acting, it was the hard lesson I learned in season 1, anybody can give a great performance once. But if you're on a single camera show, you got to be able to give a repeatable performance that may not be as great, but is good enough to, cut together in editing. And I was all over the place in season 1, and he saved my butt, really. So it's like any praise my character gets, you got to give to the editor. But so moving in that, having that knowledge, and just I'm a person who just kind of, I just catalog things. So when we're writing season 2, I'm preparing to act because I know I need more time. And then so we're getting into the process, we're getting ready to start production, and now I'm working in that area. And so this guy schedules out everything in spreadsheets. It's like, okay, we're going to do this location this day, we got this location that day, so we're going to do these scenes. And so he really drives the production piece of it. And so you just get in there in the spreadsheet and it's like, okay, what do we need to make this work? What do we need to make this happen? And then you get on set and, he's directing, she's, set designing, and, me and the AD are probably thinking about what scene's next or what we got to get ready next. Just because we don't have a lot of time. So you have to save time someplace. You got to have a pivot ready because, we may have a grand plan, when we walk into a place and then realize that plan ain't going to work. And so, being able to huddle up and figure out what we're going to do instead, that was, it's just everything was about being adaptable. We're always on the go, always on the move. So we just had to be ready to adapt. It was just something that we accepted. So I say, from that standpoint, that's just, the growth just kind of came with the responsibility rather than the other way around. It's just okay, I think I've gotten a pretty good handle on this. Okay, what's the next responsibility I need to take on? I'm a challenge person. I love a challenge. Or I'm going to get bored. Sometimes producing and acting ain't the greatest thing in the world. More often than not, it's not, especially when you're independent though, because it's literally, if I got scenes that we're shooting, we only filmed on weekends. So if I got scenes this coming weekend, but I still got to make sure everything else is right. So it's finding the balance between that and a 9 to 5. That ain't fun, but you love it, so you do it.
Sleep.
Right. You love it, so you do it anyway. So it's okay, I'm a producer Monday and Tuesday. Come Wednesday, I'm an actor. And so now I'm calling him with notes on the scenes. And then, we get through the notes. Okay, Thursday, back to being a producer, everything good to go. On Friday, it's hey, let me change these lines, this line, this line, and this line, right before we're about to go to set so he can't say no. But, I mean, that's just
He's like, oh, really?
No. I'm very open to suggestions. I always say I'm limited to my own ignorance, so anybody smarter than me that can add to it.
He's very good at saying, let's try it your way, but then, let's do one my way too.
We're going to get it your way, we're going to get it my way, and I'm going to make the decision to post.
I think that's really good, though. That's really good for team efforts too, because at least it shows, hey, I'm listening to you. Because like she said in the beginning, you could have been an asshole director, whereas you talk you fucking up my vision. Like, get out of here. Like, I ain't got time for it.
That only happened like I think once or twice, and that was like at the end of like a 25-hour day because we didn't have money to come back to this Airbnb. Like, it was wild. And I usually take advice, but it was like the last scene, and it was like, "Hey, Jerry, you want to do this?" Like, no. This is what's gonna happen. We're gonna come with the wide. We're gonna cut, bam, bam, and we getting out of here. And I was like, I don't want any. I don't want
in hindsight, though, you were like, damn, why didn't we?
Yeah. In hindsight, I was like, why didn't we get that? But get another angle. But we just didn't have the time.
We didn't have time. We didn't have time, and I don't think we had the physical, mental, or emotional bandwidth to pull it off. It was literally a 25-hour day. We started at 6 a.m. on Sunday, and this was a walkaway. This was a walkaway set. So this was an Airbnb we had for the weekend. So we filmed Friday night. We filmed on Saturday. Sunday morning, 6 a.m. I wake up. I hear people moving around downstairs. Like, all right, brush your teeth, get ready to go down to work. And that was 6 a.m. on Sunday. By the time we packed up and left, it was 7 a.m. on Monday. So we finished that last scene at like 4 or 5 in the morning, like just before we were running out of darkness. And then it's like, all right, pack it up, we got to go.
It's usually the opposite. You're usually worried about the sun
losing daylight.
You don't ever worry about the sun coming up, but we were.
So y'all were mentioning, I heard Hardy say it in there where he talked about y'all do a single camera show, and it means that like the actors have to be more precise in what they're doing, right? So like, what are some of the challenges like and the differences between a single camera and a multi-camera show? Like, would it be easier if y'all did like multiple shots, or does it change the feel of the show or something?
It does. Essentially, if you watch like some other shows, if you have different cameras, you can capture a little bit more. With one camera. You have to make sure that you get all of the shots that you want. I think Jerod mentioned it before. If you want to get certain things with that one camera, you got to make sure that you get the OTS. You got to make sure that you come around and you
over the shoulder.
Shot. Oh, sorry. Yes.
That's that shot that I think I like. That's that when they have 60 Minutes where they be like, the person head be blurred. Hey, I be telling them.
But it's so important. It's important.
That's a good shot.
Yeah. Exactly. And and I think the one place that having multiple cameras may have helped the most probably would have been on close-ups. Yeah. Because a lot of the times, and some of it's fatigue, and some of it's just it's just not really thinking about it. But when you're doing a scene and somebody else's close up, sometimes a person may kind of lay out, like just not really give it the performance that the other person needs in order to generate that emotion that they're trying to tell in that story, because they know the camera's not on them. And I think that's where having multi-camera I think would have helped the most, just because now you're giving this performance and we got to live in this moment.
Everybody can stay in it.
And there is no ease up because the camera's not on me.
Yeah, and I'll say this from a production standpoint. I know I heard through the grapevine, we had an actor complaining about not having multi-camera. First of all, you know how limited the budget is. Okay. You have to have a team, a squad that can dress an entire room for like 360, right? At least 180, right? You gotta dress it so if a camera's pointing this way and the camera's pointing that way, it's lit properly and the backgrounds are what you want it to be, right? Because otherwise, with a single camera, we worry about you get a wide shot, we move in for a single or a double, and then we get singles, and so you just do them. And the big thing for actors is continuity. If an actor is watching this, pay attention. If you pick this up with your right hand, when we move to another shot, please pick it up with your right hand. And not just independent projects. I was watching Cruel Summer, and my wife hates it, but I'll be like, hey, rewind it. I was like, pay attention to their arms. And every time the camera changed, even with big productions like that, or watching Startup the other day, on the wide shot, his shirt was open. It went to a close-up, his shirt was buttoned, right? Even shows with big budgets, that stuff happens.
Yeah, I'll tell you, working in film and TV, like just on the production side, will ruin your enjoyment of things.
No, like,
I look at marketing that way.
Same way with us, like, we be like, oh, I see what you businesses is doing. Like, I tell them, so I'm like, I'm not letting them get me, man. I'm not even gonna try.
So continuity is huge. On a multi-camera show, if you have more cameras, you can your continuity won't be a problem because you're getting all those angles. But you know, a lot of people do single camera. Even big shows do single camera.
Yeah. I mean, it's really just it's the storytelling mechanism. And well, okay, so I just realized there was one more place that the multicam probably would have saved me was in post audio.
Yeah.
That's we'll get to that down the line. But I was also a post audio supervisor, so I did mixing, sound editing for the first 3 episodes and part of episode 7 of season 2, and then just kind of supervised the rest. Where we had once we found someone else that could step in and do it, because that was like right at the beginning of COVID, and things at work once again were going nuts because I had to be a superhero for a little while. But going back to what you said, like single camera, double camera, it really, you're only as good as the talent in front of the camera and behind the camera, no matter how many cameras you got.
Yeah. And I got one more question, like dealing with the creative side, really just the time that it takes, like to actually, from writing it to actually shooting it. Like, what does that look like if you wanted to take on a project like this?
Independently?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so 2 years, I think, was season 2.
Sheesh.
2 years from end to end, right?
Yeah.
And I get jealous because I see like Insecure on HBO, they'll post a BTS with a script and they're like, starting shooting, and then I feel like 30 days later.
After they just wrote the whole season at a retreat over the weekend.
Yeah. So 2 years, and you know, the whole process, not to delve into it too deeply, build the team, do some fundraising, build the writer's room, write the scripts, do the pre-production location scouting, and then you got production, and then everything you did in those previous months changes during production, right? I mean, I'll say this. One of my favorite episodes was episode 0. It was a purgatory between season 1 and season 2. It's the only episode I wrote by myself. It's funny as hell. It's offensive as hell. And we had to cut it. Because
whole episode.
Because we ran out of money.
I was like, it's not available anywhere? I want to see that.
It's in script form. I can send you the script.
Script is hilarious.
Yeah, but so we had to get rid of it because we got like toward the end of production and pockets was empty. Like we was like, we can't do it.
Yeah, and that was one of those things where it was kind of it was always on the list. Like, you know, he's always talking to, like, when we're writing, it's like, all right, we're cutting down. You got to kill your darlings. We need to reduce these number of locations. We went location crazy because you're telling 4 stories, right? So you got a lot of locations, right? So start thinking about money. It's like, okay, well, what can be the first, you know, what can go if things get tight? And so episode 0 was on the list from the beginning, like, we really hope we get there. Because it was really a single location episode. It was a bottle episode, he calls it. I guess it's the industry term.
Y'all know what a bottle episode is?
I was just about to say, what is it?
Happens
in one place.
Right.
Yeah, one place, and we actually had all the characters, which is a lot. And that they usually do that in the industry to save money. Like, all right, put everybody in one location and just knock out an episode real quick. That wasn't our reasoning. We did it as a kind of a table setter. I wish we had it, but we don't.
It's just one of those things that would be fun to do is just going forward, just do a bottle episode at the beginning of every season just to get everybody in one room because they might not see each other again. Like, there are characters I interacted with in season 1, I ain't interact with in season 2 at all. Like, and so that's kind of weird, but like that would have given us the opportunity to get those characters into just the same space and have them interact and have their fun. Just let us play one good time, creative. Right? And then we'll go, okay, let's get into the meat of the season. But we didn't get to do that because poverty.
So speaking of the money side of everything,
I want to get into the business side of it.
The business side of it. So like y'all filmed season 2. When did Amazon come into play? Was that after season 1 or after season 2?
No, it was during season. It was after season 1.
Yeah,
right.
We put it out on YouTube.
Yeah, put it out on YouTube, which YouTube's whack. And we initially put it on Vimeo. Vimeo's not whack, but it's just not for people to find your stuff. YouTube's whack because of the algorithm. Amazon has an independent track. It's hard to get on as far as like you just got to jump through all the hoops. Make sure your stuff is up to par, and you can get it on there. And it took a lot of rejection from them, but just coming back and fixing whatever they said was wrong, and eventually got on there. So
Hi, everyone. Jazzy Bell here from Women in Hip Hop Podcast. And if you're a fan of music, then be sure to check out and subscribe to Women in Hip Hop Podcast, a show that focuses on the many talents and influences from women within the culture. And is brought to you exclusively by Revolt Podcast Network, anchored in hip hop, powered by creators.
Yeah. And so...
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. It's tax season, and we're all a bit tired of numbers. But here's one you need to hear. $16.5 billion. That's how much the IRS flagged for possible identity fraud last year. Now here's a good number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Guaranteed. Save up to 40% your first year at LifeLock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Even before that, the budget. Because y'all mentioned it a few times. Yeah. I want to know, what type of budget were y'all working with?
What season?
Give me both.
So season 1, if you count all the,
I think I got the season 1, but season 1 budget in like the little ashtray in my car.
So if you don't
receipt,
if you don't count like the $15,000 or $16,000 in equipment I had originally bought, like all in all, like a few $1,000s, like $3,000, I think. Now mostly that's food and Airbnb rentals, right? So it wasn't much, right? But you need the equipment. And that stuff, you can get that stuff like renting and stuff like that. But then you fast forward to season 2, we raised about $20,000 in like crowdfunding and product placement. So we had that 20. All in all, I think we ended up spending around $60,000, right? And that's not including manpower, right? If I started putting in the man hours and all that stuff, you're looking more to like $1 million or probably more, right?
Right.
And then,
it's just like if we all just laid out an invoice for services rendered for season 2, we get up to $1 million.
And like Vaughn could speak on this, but she returned a lot of stuff. That's how you turn a props budget or set design budget into a bigger one. So I would think around $60,000. But then like we had a Reebok sponsorship. Reebok was one of our sponsors, and they gave us a lot of free clothes. Like at one point, I looking back, I'm like, man, that looks like a Reebok commercial. I don't know why I let that happen. But Reebok was on board. A lot of local designers, which we were grateful for them. A lot of musicians threw their music at us and let us use their music. Grateful for that.
Shout out to Marcus, who was out here wrangling and recruiting and setting moods with this music. Sometimes with just a script.
Yeah.
Because actually most of it was with just a script until we got like deep into the post because it wasn't editing.
Yeah, cash out of pocket. I think it was around 60, but I haven't looked at the total number recently, so it could be more closer.
I can understand why you wouldn't look.
Yeah, it could be closer to 100. But ironically, I'm only down around 10,000, which I kind of find as a win, right? So
so when you went to that is a win.
Yeah,
you gotta end.
Sup, family? Hope you've been enjoying the show. I have a serious question for all my entrepreneurs real quick. Is your business moving forward or is it stagnant? Don't you want to know how to get more clients, how to build better infrastructure, how to dominate in your industry? Well, you need to be at the 10th annual Run Business Conference in Dallas, Texas on July 16th. Run Business Conference will have experts teaching on trucking and logistics, government contracts, real estate, finance, credit, business automation, and so much more. Man, look, fam, y'all got to get ready to run. Get ready to run your life, run your business, and run up this bag. You're only one contract away from changing the trajectory of your business. Link is in the description to get tickets. Let's run it. Run Conference 2022.
Been the show Emmy nominated. Yeah. So with these different brands and people that you approached when you were fundraising, like you had the proof of concept already to show them,
and that's why it was good that y'all did season 1.
Exactly,
and that's why I said earlier, like we come correct, professional in every single element. Like when I was at ESPN, they care about every frame, every pixel. Everything's important, and I thought they were crazy, and now I'm the crazy one, right? But we come with a very professional approach, right? And I don't let it go out unless it's professional, right? Okay is not good enough. So that's how when we approach them, and plus the proof of concept, right? We had won some awards, we went to festivals, all that stuff.
That's really, really dope. And there was another thing, like, what's your bringing back the stuff and like just really making it happen though, because a lot of times, sometimes people be too proud to do that. Oh, I'm not bringing that back, but it's like, yo, are you gonna let that? Exactly, like, are you gonna let that stop your vision from coming true?
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna let your pride not make this come to life?
That was standard fare, right?
if something really fit the scene, I just looked at it, talked to Jerod and say, hey, can we swing this? We can probably return it. And we're like, yeah, sure, we can return it, sure.
I turned over my credit card, right? And it was like, hey, just get it, we'll figure it out, right? And yeah, just kind of making it happen. And let me tell you, I remember the story I was gonna tell. We was down to $0 in the washed like bank account, right? Mm-hmm. And I could go to my wife, but I really didn't want to. My wife's like, when's this gonna be done, right? And so my man Hardy, like, we hit zero. Like, I swear to God, we hit zero on season 2, and nobody knows this. My man Hardy, the day we hit zero, hit me with $1,000. Right? And that's not easy.
Trapping for real.
That's not easy for somebody to do, right? Just to say, here's $1,000, get it back to me when you can get it back to me, right?
Because it had been a running joke because I just started a new job. It's like, hey, what's your newfound wealth? Such. So, and honestly, like, I didn't know that we hit zero. Mm-hmm. I just was like, yo, we got 2 more weeks of production left. Yeah. Like, here. Yeah. Like, I got to get mine in. Like, we here now.
And you can't take food back, but you got to feed the crew.
Right.
And
you got to feed people.
Yeah. And so and that's the thing, like, to give you some insight. On one end, when you go on to sponsors, you go in there with your chest out. We on Amazon, we winning awards. When you got to get locations for a discounted price or try to get, you come with your hat in hand like, can you please help me? The truth is somewhere in the middle. Like, you ain't as big as you think you are, and you ain't as broke as you.
Hey, I love it.
We ain't got no backing. We ain't got nothing.
Please.
That's hilarious.
Amazon checks come once every 3 months, and they've been shout.
I remember towards the end, you were even asking me, you were like, do we have any money to spare? Any money?
Please tell me you can bring some of this stuff back.
Like, what was it, like a $2,000 prop and set design budget?
Right. That was our
for 10 episodes.
For 10 episodes. And Vaughn probably didn't understand. Like, I was like, I can go to Shannon and see if we can, if she's cool with me taking something from the savings, but I really didn't want to.
Like, please don't.
We had already, like you say, like, we raised $20,000, and I said we spent $60,000. That $40,000 came from somewhere, right? Like,
damn.
Hey, I'm glad y'all share that too, like, because I want people to, after they hear this, to go like look and watch the show to see. Like, y'all are talking about these budgets, but I don't think like people can't visualize what this looks like. This look like a show that's on Showtime and stuff like that. But y'all getting it done. You said
and that's the thing. Like, I'm just giving away all the game. Like, but you have to be able to execute it. If I give you this game, is we had events. So we had premiere events. That's where I got some money back, right? We got creative and did tiered packages. That's how I got money back, right? And we did a finale event. We did an event with Reebok where we didn't charge, but we sold merch, right? So we did things that supplemented. So that's how, even in my mind, I'm like, how did we get from raising 20 to filling the gap? And it was from events, right?
But that's y'all being hungry and just making it happen.
It's community. Yeah, it's just a testament to the hustle of everybody involved. Like, everybody was trying to figure out a way to shave some budget off of whatever they were doing. Yeah. Whether it was, camera crew running back and forth to Austin to rent something, or to borrow gear, or us taping tags down because we know this stuff got to go back on Monday.
Our DP Mario called in mad favors, pulled up the first day of set with a big production truck. I was like, whoa, I'm gonna put all my little camera equipment to the
it was
back.
so funny. We just shrunk. Yeah. Because I rode with him. I'm like, all right, we're gonna unload. Here, you pop the truck, and then they show the van pulls up, and it opens. It's like the A-team getting out with all of this gear. It's like, all right, we good, dog.
They don't even need us, bro. We just gonna move everything to the side. That's really cool that everybody came together like that too, though, and that like you said though, you were able to sell your vision, and you were able to get everybody on board, and y'all came together and really made it happen through the power of community. A lot of times people don't even understand that. A lot of times, once again, we let pride get in our way. We're too scared to ask, hey, can you help this out? Can you help us out with this? Like, this is what we have going on. I can't really pay you right now, but I promise you, like, it's going to be worth it.
It's going to be precious.
Yeah.
So how do you break down that humility and come to someone like that? Like you said, you know, with your head out, because a lot of times people won't do that.
Again, it goes back to like kind of the fearlessness and wanting to get stuff done. And I know folks, just like I want an opportunity, like they give me an opportunity to direct, just as like they would say, you know, thank you for the opportunity, Jerod. Well, thank you for the opportunity to give me to direct. And when you grow like
Thank you for thanking me.
Right? Great. And when you grow like that, and it's something I didn't foresee like going into it, is the egos. Like egos grew in season 2, and
that clout got up.
Yeah. And like one of our writers, like Jerod, you know, the problem is you make these guys, you make everybody feel like we're bigger than we are, and
make everybody feel like a superstar. Man.
So think about it. I take it back to sports, and this happened in one event, in one set. Like there was an incident, and I'm ready. Like let's go. Like I'm ready. Like I'm ready to pop off. And this guy passed me in the hallway. He's like, you know, you got to eat this. Can I curse? Anyway, he's like, you know, he's like, you know, you got to eat this shit, right? And I was like, man, I don't want to eat this shit. And he's like, you got to eat this shit. And I was like, all right. So I went in there and I took all the blame. And that's what leaders do, and that's what you do in sports. Is like you go in, you take the blame, and you just eat it, right? And my whole thing was, for me, is like, especially when we grew, like get out of the way of the show, because there were so many people chasing their dream through the show, right? And had spent so much time, because there were so many times I could make decisions in season 2 that would cut the legs out of the entire show and made me feel good, right? And made me not feel like a bitch. But there was times where I went in there and I was like, all right, I'm gonna take the blame, even though it's not all my fault. I'm gonna take the blame. And so we can get to the finish line and everybody can see, because we've been manifesting this Daytime Emmy nomination for a long time. Tell them about it.
Millennials love manifesting. But I was gonna finish up. In this business, ego can be that anchor that stops you from getting to where you want to go. You can't get too big for your britches just because you think this is Dallas and this ain't LA and ain't nobody paying attention. Like at no level do you want to get hit with the, you know, difficult label, or, you know, you don't want to not be a team player. And so it's all about the project. I don't care what your part is in it. You have to understand that everything is about the project. However you feel, whatever you wanted to do but didn't get to do, whatever it is, it don't matter, because we're all about getting to that point of completion and getting it out to tell our story to the masses. And, you know, a lot of people, it's just hard coded in them, like, nah, it's got to be about me. Nah, I got to get what I want, or I'm just gonna torpedo the whole thing. And when that happens, those are the people that, you know, if we was getting money with this, I wouldn't mess with you.
Nah.
Like straight up. If we were under a film studio, I can't trust you, because you're gonna cost the studio more money because of the way that you approach things. You know, and then, you know, just certain types of energy you can feel it on set, or you can feel it in meetings or whatever, and you just know those people will eventually weed themselves out because they really ain't got the stomach to finish. And what are you about to ask me?
That was a bar, man. That was a bar. And I kind of want to go into the thing with Amazon too. What did Amazon do for the show? Did it help y'all start making some money? Was it more so getting the show out to a larger audience, people who building that fan base?
Yeah. All of the above. Early on, their royalties were good. They were decent.
Yeah,
they still trash.
They changed the structure.
But they're starting to squeeze indies out. And luckily we got in when we did. But they were good, and it gave us enough to buy some props, buy some food for the cast and crew. Now it's trash. But
Amazon's worried about MGM more than they worried about.
They just closed that deal.
Yeah, they did. Let me use a business terminology since we're on a business podcast. The halo effect, like just kind of being associated with Amazon, you just get that halo effect. So now now ABC returning our calls. Now reporters aren't ignoring us. Now we can get on and get us some media and grow the brand. And hell, another point when we were about to be broke in season 2, a college called us up and they were like, "Hey, we want you to come out and speak." And I was like, "Cool, I'll come out and speak." It was like, "What do you want your honorarium to be?" And after I Googled what honorarium meant,
which is sad because I swear I had just used it like in a scene.
So after I Googled that, I came back. I was like, "I'm not sure. What are you thinking?" And so they came back. I think it was like $1,500. I was like, "Whoa, okay, just to speak." So that's just an hour? All right, cool. So we went out there and
an hour drive too.
Yeah, we went out and we did it and we got the honorarium and that paid for a location and it paid for food.
Y'all making shit.
You don't understand, however you believe that the universe works or, whatever religion's like. Something was on our side, through this whole process. Yeah. Even all the way down to the day the daytime Emmy nominations were announced. We were just, because we were beat down. Me and this guy, you just talk about getting ready to move on, and he's getting his energy back, and I'm still a little drained. So we get just all right, here we go. It's rejection day. We ready. So
you ever seen Morgan Freeman in Shawshank? Okay, I gotta watch Shawshank.
I'm gonna watch it.
So but that had been kind of the thing. People weren't really messing with us because a lot of it was because it was a season 2, for festivals and stuff. It's you're dropping us in the middle of a story. We can't put you in the festival because we don't know what's going on. Fair. But we got to the daytime Emmys and we actually submitted for 12 entries for 11 categories. Yeah. And so the first 2 categories were announced a couple weeks ago. And, they're announcing them via Twitter. And so the things roll out. He's just right away. Me and him are sitting on the phone. It's oh, man. Because I think it was best overall. Yeah. I forget what they called the category that they put digital.
It was best overall limited drama series.
Limited drama.
And it came out. It was it was the second category announced. And our name wasn't on it. And I was like, damn, I was on the phone with him and I hit him with the usher, I'm going to call you back. Yeah,
he straight up did though.
I'm going to call you back.
I'm
you
sure?
Stop playing.
And so
I was on everything.
I was getting ready to get on the couch and crawl up in the fetal position and damn. And
it is so then he texted me, he's like, man, because they haven't announced all the other categories yet. They do those at the end of June because they did it in 2 phases, so it's 2 broadcasts. So we weren't even thinking about the set design one because we were just thinking
if we didn't get the overall, we ain't
right. Yeah. It's we didn't get overall, we ain't getting it. And we submitted. We knew we were going to be going up against stuff that's period pieces and sci-fi and whatever.
Some crazy stuff
right. And it's our set, our production design is dope because of how we did it. And I don't know if they would respect it as such because we're set in modern times in Dallas, black ass Texas. We didn't know what the reaction was going to be, but Vaughn believed. She said, "Let's do it. Let's submit." And so I went back to work. I'm just trying to deal with this disappointment. And then he called me. I was like, "Oh man, let me just make sure you're all right." He's like, "Bro, we got nominated." It's what the fuck are you talking about?
I feel like Kanye. Can we still get that deal with Rockefeller?
I was confused. I was what are you talking about? It's we got nominated for a production design. It's I'm refreshing the Twitter. Where do you see that? I don't see it. He's like, no, click on that link and go to the full results. And then we got, it's oh crap. So the running gag had been when these announcements come out, are we going to scroll down and read every category? Or are we just going to hit the Control F and then just put in a hashtag and see if anything comes up? Because our show is hashtag watched, right? Yeah, so it's all right, do we want to rip the Band-Aid off? Just hit this hashtag, or we want to scroll through and just really scratch the lottery ticket. So it got there, and that was the first thing I texted, hashtag. So, oh shit! I text my boss, we talking about the Amazon halo effect. I remember when I had just started, I was kind of a couple months in. He called me into his office, and he turned his TV on, went to Amazon Prime. He's like, "That's you."
Wow.
Yes, it is. He's like, man, it's just like this crazy thing. I've been looking upside your head for like 3 weeks because I was trying to figure out.
I know I've seen this man before.
This man looks so familiar.
And it was so funny, but it was just like, they're like, those are the people you reach, those people who actually pay attention to the you may also likes. So that's what Amazon did for us a lot. And it just rolled and rolled and rolled. And so, like he said, it gave us enough to go to certain places and be like, yo, we doing this. But we still had, enough of the reality to go in the other places. We were like,
no, we need this.
I like how y'all got it on Amazon, and like it's also hosted through y'all website. I think that's one of the most genius things. Like,
thank you.
You can really go in here and like get them episode by episode if you want. You can rent episodes, like on Amazon on like the Fire Stick and stuff. Yeah. You can rent episodes or whatnot, but y'all do it directly from y'all website, and I think that's smart because it's another stream of income for y'all as an independent business. And it's a better way for us as individuals to support y'all.
And here's some more game. What I was trying to do, I don't know if it was clever or not. We have a crap load of exclusive content on our website you can only find there. So we have 25 or 27 behind the scene features with behind the scene footage. And you talk to Yvonne, or you get to hear Yvonne talk about set design for about 5 minutes. Hardy, everybody, a lot of people on the team talked about their role. And so we got, so there was thought process behind that. Kind of like 2 streams of revenue, and then also just have it on our site and try to get people there because you get more money if you sell it yourself.
Thanks, always. Cut the middleman out.
Keep it all.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's really, really smart. And I want to talk to you about what comes with the Amazon effect. Are y'all open to working with larger brands, like getting picked up by maybe a major label, or do you want to keep it indie?
Oh no, we want to make money. We're not doing this stuff for art. We're trying to get in front of the decision makers. We got a lot of ideas we're working on. I'm working on a feature, two TV ideas with the writer.
We got a couple pilots.
Yeah,
it's a lot going on.
Working on that, and then I mentioned to y'all before the show. I got a friend that works at a major network, and he wants me to rewrite the Wash pilot, like rewrite the whole show and send it to him, see if we can use our proof of concept of what we've done and say, hey, this is what we want to do in a bigger scale. Kind of like This Is Always a Blueprint. Issa Rae had the Awkward Black Girl, and then Insecure is just a really high budget version of Awkward Black Girl. We want to be like those folks in Dallas. Their shows ain't had no Cruel Summer shot in Dallas, Queen of South shot in Dallas. We want to do that.
No, that's dope. Yeah. That's dope. And I kind of wanted to get into one of the last points I wanted to get into, the film festivals. Like, I know you said y'all apply and stuff like that, but what is the process of like getting in on that? Because I know, I forgot one of them, what is it called? Sundance Film Festival. I know it's like a really big one. Yeah. So like, how do you get on these circuits and start winning some of those awards so you can start getting some notoriety?
So that's Film Freeway is kind of like the portal for all festivals. Some festivals, I think Sundance does their own thing. South by Southwest does their own thing. So the big ones do their own thing. Those are really hard to get into. A lot of times, I'm not saying you need to know somebody, because if you got a really dope piece of work, get it in there in front of them and it has a shot. But I do know there are relationships built, behind the scenes, because we have relationships we built behind the scenes with festivals that we knew we were in before anybody else. What I'm saying? And we even got invited to an invitational. So the folks at Denton Black Film Festival, they had heard about us, they knew about us, so they just made us an invitational selection, right?
It was because they saw the billboard.
Maybe.
Y'all did a billboard in
Dallas? Yeah, we did a billboard for our launch. 2 of them.
That's hard. That's hard.
Should I give that game away?
So I had one right in the hood. I got to pass by it.
So that's another hustle in that it was COVID, so outdoor advertising wasn't expensive because people wasn't outdoors, right? So what you want to do is you want to build this, again, another halo effect and an image perception about yourself. So what I did is I called up all the billboard companies and negotiated all of them against each other. They were hurting. And I noticed that when I was driving around, I'm seeing a lot of blank billboards, right? Mm-hmm. So
there was no traffic.
Yep. I negotiated them against each other, got a real good rate to get 2. And then here's another thing. Like, usually you'd have to pay somebody to design your billboard. Mm-hmm. I went and learned how to design a billboard. I went and researched what makes a best billboard, which is 7 to 10 words or less, and that's really hard to do. And then I designed it myself, and put it up. So we got it for, a lot of people think we, spent a lot of money. That was a hustle, right? That was trying to make it happen. And we did spend money, but,
He's never, he never stops. He never just lets something go without trying to negotiate a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, like, if you want another bit of game, like, whatever you're doing, even if you like the price, just test it out.
Never pay the real price.
Right.
Big facts, though.
No, straight up, like, negotiate. Everything is negotiable.
Yeah.
It's like,
especially in business.
If you got to barter something, or, you.
He got a friend, man. I tell y'all, this girl, she get a lot of shit for free, but she just asks, and she's like, I'm not.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to ask, and it'll be available. Like, the thing with the billboard.
Worst thing is no.
Like, right. Yeah. The worst thing they can say is no. It's like, all right, cool. We back to paying regular price. I was going to do it anyway.
Yeah. And that's
the billboard thing, like, you couldn't hide it. Like, we know y'all not getting no business. They either blank or they worn down because they've been up here forever because ain't nobody bought this location.
You just got to be smart about it. And like when I selected the billboards, I selected in neighborhoods that I thought might like us, and then also dived into the analytics they provided and got the most reach out of where the locations were, which one was in South Dallas off 20, and the other
was 20.
The other one was in East Dallas, only 3 miles from my home, was off I-30.
That's hard.
So you had to see us going, if you were going into downtown from that way, like you had
either
to.
way, yeah.
I'll show y'all the video on Instagram.
That's hard.
I want to see it. So like, whenever y'all, after doing the billboards, did y'all notice, like, because it's offline marketing. I know we in this era of digital marketing and all this where people can track analytics. You can't necessarily like.
The NBA playoffs are here, and I'm getting my bets in on FanDuel. Talk to me, Chuck GPT. What do you know?
All sorts of interesting stuff, even Charles Barkley's greatest fear.
Hey, nobody needs to know that.
New customers bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in Virginia. Must be first online real money wager. $5 deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable bonus bets that expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Track individual customer, but did y'all see like
a spike?
Yeah,
or anything
spikes
like
from
that?
Yeah, you see
people
it.
often say like traditional advertising is dead.
We was doing crazy numbers like when we launched the show. Like me and him, like we go over analytics almost daily. So the numbers were happening, and then you also see people tagging us when they roll past it or stuff like that. So it was more from kind of a branding
awareness
type thing. Like you said, you can't really, like when I do a Facebook ad, I can see how many people impressions. This was more of kind of like we here. Yeah. Right, we here. And sometimes you invest in that. You might not be able to get direct results, but we here is very powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Just that name recognition, even if somebody didn't look at it, if you hear watched again, it's like, dang, that was that.
Imagine if I work downtown, I drive past this every day, like, what is this shit?
Right, and it was like, it was in the high traffic spot of 30. Like, you got to sit there. It was at 30 in Carroll. You got to sit there and look at that.
And the thing about it is, I'm always going to blow it out. So, pause. I'm always going to.
I don't think that was necessary.
I was the only one thinking.
I took my drone. I took my drone and I made videos. I made videos of every single billboard. So we saw people. We put it on social media. We blasted it in like our email blast. That's another like email marketing. Like we made sure people knew we were there. So we got as many impressions as we could.
Yeah, that's real dope. I love that. I love the way that y'all took it. It went from community. Y'all really just took advantage of everything that y'all could, though. And now y'all nominated.
100% independent. Indie.
Say that.
Man, I gotta
Indie.
Oh, we can't even hear. We don't have our headphones on.
But that is so dope. So season 3 of Wash, is it happening? Is season 3 happening? What's the word? Or are we focusing on the deal right now? We're kind of.
So it's kind of twofold. If we got the money, we got the ideas. It's not for a shortage of ideas, right? And we got the talent. We would prefer to take that next step up because there is another step or two that we can go upwards. So yeah, it's all dependent upon getting money, getting investors, getting the heart to jump back into the ring.
He's like, it's just one of those where like you won, but you feel like you've been in a fight.
Yeah.
You've been in a fight.
I feel like Luka out here. So yeah, we're trying to map that next move.
Mm-hmm.
We again, like I was saying, I got this feature I'm working on. The 2 scripts. I'm working with a writer in New York. She's super dope. One of her ideas is like, it's ready. Like this like I guarantee you, we put this in front of HBO. It's ready, right? It's just about getting that person to bite on it. So yeah, we're testing the waters right now because I don't think we can prove anything else at the indie level, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all going to be incremental gains. That big gain is going to come with that budget.
I got you. Gotcha. That's dope.
That was a very political answer.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, thorough. I like it.
I was about to say, hell no.
Like, y'all been getting on my
I'm
damn
telling you,
nerves.
no, it ain't even that. It's just, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Because we can't do it full time.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, you doing it, like, if you were to do something further with a major budget, with major backing, where I can say, okay, well, I just take a few months off work.
Yeah.
And, everybody else seems like we're getting paid to do this now.
Yeah.
And we can do it every day, and it's all we got to think about. And I don't have to,
you have to really lock in all the way, yeah.
And that would be the next thing to prove. We do. We prove it with a big budget, but that's not really a prove thing. That's that's just the logical next step.
Yeah, I mean, shit, y'all already got the proof out there. Y'all showing them what y'all could do.
And I want to jump back in the trenches with the crew. I miss everybody, but we got to do it right.
Yes, no doubt. And we there'll be other opportunities for that. But yeah, if the opportunity comes along for a season 3 and if it makes sense, we ready.
Hey, I love it. So where can the people watch Washed? We know we said Amazon Prime. Give them the website too, so y'all can get all that money. I want to make sure y'all getting y'all pockets right, so we can get that season 3.
Yeah, I want to see season 3.
So Amazon.com, just search #Wash. Don't forget the hashtag. TheCreativeCouch.tv. There's a Wash tab on there. Just click on that. Exclusive content. And Instagram, we really active on social media. We stay active as much as we can. And let Yvonne.
Yeah, I was about to say, y'all can tell y'all Instagrams and stuff.
The Creative Couch and Wash series on Instagram, and let Yvonne win this Emmy. Y'all gonna get tired of us.
We speaking into when
Yvonne wins this Emmy.
Can I ask?
Let me tell you something.
When?
Can I ask Yvonne a question? Like, cause she's a quiet mouse.
Yes.
So just go through the whole process of being a daytime Emmy nominated set designer now. The feelings, like
what does that feel like?
It's honestly a feeling that I've never had before. I think I said one time before, it's a difference when knowing you're capable and actually getting it. It's like, it's just so much more rewarding. And I feel like, I feel it in waves. Like, I'll wake up one morning and be like, damn, I really did it. I really did it. But it's really, really hard for me to speak about myself. And that's probably one thing that I'm working on because it's very, something to be very proud of. So, I'll still say yeah, we, but then they're like, no, you. And I'm like, oh, me. So, but it's honestly, it is a team effort, but I'm very, 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 very blessed, very, very excited. And I do believe that we gonna take it all the way.
Poor Yvonne, she was at work when we told her.
I know.
And she's a teacher.
I was like, my kids were looking at me like.
Meanwhile, I was like, I don't know if we're I don't know how close she is to them or how loud it is because I want to yell, fuck them kids.
But they needed to hear something in order to do their work, so I was just like,
I was about to say, I need to hear that.
But when I got home, when I got off work, I was just like, oh my God! But yeah, it was great. Just to think in season 2, I was teaching. I was still in grad school, and I was still in grad school. It was a lot. It was a lot. I mean, all my weekends were taken, and had to buy things during the weeks, and work on the weekends. It was difficult. So
dedication.
It paid off. It paid off for sure.
So, all right, y'all, we're going to pivot to the last segment of our show. So, I want to ask each one of y'all, what's on your timeline? We didn't give y'all a little brief before we normally do. So, what's on your timeline? What's something you see on social media? It could be anything that stood out to you that you just want to speak on.
Y'all go ahead first.
Can I get a water?
I got to think about this.
My brother, boom.
I got it.
Funny. I think I haven't actually been on that much today, but I know if I go to like my, the Explore page, usually what pops up is like hair and workouts. That's like honestly what is very, very odd. I don't know why the universe is trying to tell me something. Like couples and babies. Oh, wow. And I'm like, why am I just looking at like couple pages and babies?
That ain't the universe. That's your algorithm.
I was showing.
That's that data mine, and you said something about somebody.
You must be liking them babies or something.
You said the word baby out loud too many times. You were singing a Justin Bieber song.
Hey, that's the shit that get me. Whenever you start saying stuff and it start popping up, I'll be like, come on, bro. Y'all like,
why y'all being so creepy right now, bro?
You're right. But yeah, that's pretty much that's been showing up on mine.
I like this category, so I got mine, and I'm gonna keep it business, right?
Okay.
A lot of people are big into cryptocurrency right now.
Yes, sir.
Be careful with investing. Be careful, just in general, because of, you gonna hit them horns.
Nah.
You got a message button,
right? Be careful, because I know these PPP and this EIDL and all this is coming in right now. But crypto is a very volatile and new currency that if you ain't got it to lose, it's gonna hurt. Same thing with investing. The stock market is going up, and if you
just crazy, bro.
Unless you got this is what I learned in business school. Unless you have superior knowledge on any of these stocks or any of these cryptos, you will get burned. You can get burned. You might get lucky once, but you can get burned. So I'm just saying, be careful. Invest wisely. Index funds is what I always have been told.
Keep your risk low.
Yeah, keep your risk low and diversified. I know it's generic and it's boring, but only play with the money you can lose. Because I have crypto too, but I can, if it goes away, I'm straight, right? I'm good. But I'm just in it just to have that upside and that diversification, because that's also a part of the diversification play.
Come on in with the terminology. And if y'all want to learn more, join BWR Academy.
That's a real game, though. That's a real game, because like people really out here, like they betting it all on Dogecoin and shit like that, and they don't even understand. Like that's something we stressed about on an episode we recorded this past weekend. Like learning about the actual projects, learning about like even with a stock, like you're gonna have to learn the actual company, learn what they do. Don't just be out here like, oh yeah, I heard that this is going up, so I'm gonna just buy it. Like that's bad.
So I look at my timeline. That's why it got me thinking about it. I'm like, y'all need to tap the brakes a little bit, make sure y'all know what y'all doing. Because I see people in the comments, teach me. Oh, I just threw money here. I'm like, do you really know about the fundamentals of it? And even my wife, she knows. She has an MBA and she knows about this. She's like, I heard about this Dogecoin. I was like, listen, I'm not going to get in it right now because I feel like it's high. And I was like, in its bio, it says it was made as a joke. So I'm really wary of something that says made as a joke. So just be careful. If you would have known about it when it was at 6 cents or 1 cent, that's a hell of a less risky too. Right? That's a better play than me getting in at 40 cents and then it's oscillating between 20 and 40. And you know,
I'm hoping it's going to $1.
Right. So again, do it if you know about it and you believe in it, but just, be wary. So my timeline is full of Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and all that stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. You looking like big.
Yeah. All right, so and I ain't gonna get too far too deep into nothing. But now my timeline seems to be full of kind of along the same lines, just a lot of people talking about what they doing without showing. And I just I hate to make it a generational thing. I hate to be that old guy. But I feel
you do have a Jordan hoop earring on.
The singular hoop.
I was going for Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
It's more my age range.
Wrong hoop.
But I feel like there's so many people who put so much energy in looking like they're doing something or looking like they have something. and that energy would be better spent into actually doing what they're trying to look like they're doing. It's like, you know, there's a whole lot of, whether it's filmmaking or whether it's business or whether it's whatever, it's like everybody's always in this rush to show. Like, this rush to tell everybody, hey, look at me. Like, it's like somebody hurt them and they just got to let everybody know, like, from now on, anytime anything good happens for me, this has got to be what I do. That's the thing I hate the most about social media. Like, everything becomes a trend. Like, everything, like, we're at a point now where even toxicity in relationships is a trend. Like, everybody's out here trying to out-toxicate each other, and they think it's cute. And it's just like if y'all don't, like, I've got this GIF of, I got this GIF that I've been just waiting to drop, like, for the day where I'm just super fed up with it. Of, like, I don't know if y'all remember this. There was a black and white picture of Kanye in the studio, and it had the Kanye studio rules up on the wall, and it's just a GIF of me zooming in on the "just shut the fuck up" sometime. When it's like, there's a lot of people that just out here like begging, dying for attention. Like, you'll just do whatever. Like, that is the fucking Bitcoin, Dogecoin, no coin. Attention is the real currency right now. Like, and it's really sad to see. Like, I'm just one of those people. I like to stay out the way, and then I show up when I got something real to celebrate, and then I'm gonna go sit back down, and you know. But that's just like, I hate seeing that, because it seems like it's taking over everything. Everybody's giving themselves a reality show. But to end it on a positive note, go Mavs.
Wow. Nah, that's facts. And I was talking to someone this week as well, and she's younger, and she was saying the same thing. She was like, she's 19 years old. She's like, everybody in my generation feels like if you don't have this by 25, like, your life is over. I'm like, bro, do you not realize how much life you got to fucking live?
You just described our TV show.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you just described Watch it with less of the social media aspect. But yeah, it's like you have, when you're young,
when you're young, that's your mindset.
I'm going to have this by then and this by then. Like, nah, you got a whole life, like a whole lot of things, a lot of variables that can come across. And it's just like, and things don't just happen because you exist or because you get to a certain age.
It's
or
life.
Like that. Yeah. It's just life happens in its natural progression.
So the tagline for season 2 is "Do Dreams Expire?" And that's the whole, you feel that ticking time clock on your dreams. And like, at 25, I was supposed to be on my second NBA contract. You know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to be a millionaire. You wake up at 30, mid-30s, and you're like, damn, I didn't achieve it, so I'm a failure, when you're really not. But you feel like your dreams expired or they about to expire. And not all our characters are chasing some sort of dream in season 2.
Hey man, that's hard. I'm in the show now. Like, I ain't even gonna continue no more. Like, that was some bars right there.
So, Jerod, Yvonne, Hardy, thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Coming out to the podcast. Could y'all please let us know, like, let our listeners know where they can find out more about y'all, like where they can follow y'all on social. Once again,
the Creative Couch and Wash Series on Instagram. If you need me, I do answer DMs, so holla at me.
You can find me on Instagram at YesVonWill. That's YesVonnWill. And that's usually where I'm at. Facebook, Yvonne Williams.
And she doesn't answer DMs.
Oh, I do.
I'm messing with you.
Don't put that into the universe.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know, they show you couples and stuff like that. Niggas might come sliding in.
If you ain't talking about business, get out my DM. Casting directors, holler at me.
Right.
Casting directors only.
You should put that in your bio. Business only.
Business inquiries only.
Folks will be like, what business?
Yeah, right.
Terrible.
At Harry Hines, but no.
Y'all are terrible.
Yeah, you didn't cancel. That's what's funny.
Yeah, right.
I'm out of line.
I need new friends. All right, so my Instagram is b.hardy, like the actual period dot, not the word dot, so just b.hardy. Facebook, Byron Hardy. Those are ranked in the most likely or least likely to be visited by me on any given day. I ain't done nothing to my Twitter in ages except for send my Instagram post through there. So, but yeah, b.hardy on Instagram. My DMs are selectively open.
There you go.
Ooh, I like
for all types of business.
Yeah, you know.
Depending on what you're talking about, you feel me?
He look like he's like
business.
Terrible.
Trying to get season 3 funded.
Wow.
Hey yo. I'll make that happen. You gotta put me up the executive producer.
I need my name first on that railroad at the end of the thing.
I'm giving it to people for less.
I'm going worse for less. Yes.
That's hilarious. Well, I want to say thank y'all. This has been a very fun and informative episode. To wrap this thing up, we're gonna hop into a couple of house cleaning items that we always do. So, as always, I want to say thank you to everybody for listening to the Black Wealth Renaissance podcast. If you enjoyed this episode or been a fan of a first-time listener, give us some feedback. Leave us that 5-star review. We kicking Dave Ramsey, Susan Orman, and all these old fucks out.
Get that shit out of here.
Get them motherfuckers out of here. We're going to talk to our people the way they need to hear it, and we're going to get them right with the finances. So y'all sign up for BWR Academy. The link is down in the show notes.
If you don't want to scroll to the links, you can also just type in bwracademy.com. www.bwr.academy.com, and you'll get to it. Also, y'all grab our book, Manage Your Money Like the 1%. You can also be found on Amazon, or y'all can click that link below and buy it straight from us. Either way you want to get it.
Buy it from us. It's more money in our pocket.
Yeah.
There you go.
So either way it go.
Let's stop making Amazon rich.
Bezos got enough money.
That's a bet. On that note, this is Black Wealth Renaissance signing out. Peace.
With every monthly bill, like rent and car payments, you know exactly what you're getting when you pay for it. But health insurance plans feel like the total opposite. They're confusing and expensive. Then when you actually have to use your benefits, there are deductibles, claims, processes, and other red tape to deal with. But Crowd Health puts you back in control of your healthcare. Crowd Health is simple, transparent, and affordable. As a member, you'll get a personal care advocate who is with you every step of the way to help navigate the complexities of health events. They'll even negotiate bills on your behalf and could save you thousands of dollars in the process. Plus, you'll get access to thousands of other members who are ready to help pay for large health expenses. Experience healthcare freedom with Crowd Health. Visit joincrowdhealth.com and use code HEALTH to get your first 3 months for just $99 per month. That's joincrowdhealth.com, code HEALTH. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's a totally different way of paying for healthcare. Terms and conditions may apply.
McDonald's has entered a Minecraft movie universe, and Grimace, Birdie, and Hamburglar just spawned as new collectibles as part of a Minecraft movie meal with your choice of Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets with spicy nether flame sauce.
Participate in McDonald's for a limited time. A Minecraft movie only in theaters.